Got a rifle on a hunting rack, best friend in the back, old hound riding shotgun. I got a camouflage mud truck looking for a big buck creeping through the dusky dawn. Big bright floodlights cutting through the dark night make a path to the deer stand. Pray to God Almighty, quiet as I can be, waiting for the aftermath. We've been dreaming all year for the season, waiting for the leaves to fall. We'll be looking for a 12-point buck, man. He'll be chasing that doe. Fire up your guns, draw back your bows, let the lead out, let the hammer go. Put some meat on the table, horns on the wall, take a picture, show it off to your pawpaw. You're a different kind of animal, hiding in the brush. Look at what it does when hunting's in your blood.
Well, folks, it's October. The bugs are out.
Leaves are still on the trees.
It's warm, but we're still in the stand.
I see your bow holder doesn't have a bow sitting in it.
Well, did you notice the bug on it?
Yeah, I seen the bug on it.
How's it full draw? I pulled back on that bug.
Still didn't sling an arrow.
Wasn't big enough. Wasn't big enough.
Well, I see you had some turkeys come in on you.
I did. There were several of them out there in the wood line. And they worked around, fed around, stayed out there about 40, 45 yards in the woods, wouldn't come in. And so I was never able to take a shot.
So the master still hasn't shot at a turkey.
Folks, if the turkeys come in within range, which with the Matthews, the range is unlimited.
Here we go.
But they wouldn't come in out of the woods where I could get a good, ethical, clean shot.
Yeah, okay.
Well, folks, it's 3:30. There's deer tracks, there's deer sign. No rubs or scrapes, but there's deer sign all over. I made a mock scrape using some of Bean Creek's scrape lure. And we're going to sit here tonight and see if something comes in. When I was in here making this scrape, there was a bunch of turkeys back behind me. Stay with us, let's see what happens.
That spot kind of looked familiar.
Yeah.
Is that the same area where you got your dancing scrape?
How'd you know about that?
I watched the show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was the same area as the dancing scrape. It wasn't too long after that I danced at the scrape that this deer come in a week later, maybe something like that, using the Bean Creek scrape lure. And it come into it again and worked like a charm.
Well, folks, we're back.
You know, all this talk I hear about Matthews, what's this creaking noise that I'm hearing?
Folks, you might have heard a creaking noise right before I shot at that deer. That wasn't my bow. That's an old football injury.
You never played football. He never played football.
That was an old basketball injury.
It would have never happened with a Bowtech.
Well, folks, I think I missed her. My bow made a creaking sound.
That was an old basketball injury. Basketball injury.
As I was drawing it back, and it alerted her. And I think I missed her. I'm gonna get down here in a minute and check my arrow just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure I missed her. So I'll get down here in a minute and check it out and let you know. Well, folks, I know it's hard to see here, but I got blood on my arrow. It's passed through. She ran towards the way the vehicle's going, where my side-by-side's at, so I don't know. I don't want to walk up there and spook her, but I need to get to the side-by-side. It's getting dark and try to get some people in here. Maybe help me track her, so I'm going to get my stuff and I'm going to start easing that way and see if I spook her and see if she's down. So stay with us and I'll be back in just a little bit.
Well, folks, we're back.
I think I missed her.
Now, your commentary, you think you missed this deer.
I did think I missed it. It was getting a little bit dark, a little bit later in the evening. And when I shot, it looked like the deer ducked the arrow. So I just knew I'd missed this deer until I climbed down. And I looked at the arrow and there was blood on it, and there was a blood trail.
It was an optical illusion.
It was an optical illusion, and it happens in the deer woods, folks. You know, I got a hold of my cousin and staff member, Chad Thompson, and his wife, Melinda, and they come down and helped me, and we tracked it, and it went a little bit farther than I anticipated. It probably went 100 yards, but we found it, and it's all that matters.
Okay.
Well, folks, another young deer tonight. We just got through walking, following the blood trail, It went a little farther than I expected, but it left us a pretty good blood trail, so I can't complain with that. Again, 2 young ones come in without a doe, so the does are leaving the little ones behind, getting ready to get the action started for the rut, I guess. So, but I tell you, these young ones, they taste good, and proud to have her, and we're gonna fry her up. So stay with us. We're gonna keep hunting those bucks and keep hunting those big does. Sooner or later, we're gonna connect.
You know, Brad, you and I are both lucky. We both live in the country, and we get to see wildlife all the time, whether it's out our front window or we may be even driving around.
Yep. Where you live and hunt, there's a lot of fields, and we have video of deer and animals in the fields. I live more in a wooded area where we don't have as many fields, but like you're saying, I can go walking out my back door and be in the woods and see animals everywhere. And we are lucky in that aspect. And anytime you can get out in the woods, get out there.
Yeah, this footage here, this is right out my living room window.
I think I seen your target in the video.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. My dogs were all asleep on the porch.
Oh, guard dogs.
Yeah, and that's a pear tree out there in my front yard that the deer are eating underneath.
Ah.
And so I grabbed the video camera and just videoed them for a while. It's pretty neat.
You know, folks, the deer wasn't scared in his front yard because it actually looked at the target and seen where all the holes were and knew he wouldn't be able to hit it. So
that's because he came over with his Matthews and shot the target.
Okay, folks.
Hello, everybody. It's October 25th here in southern Missouri. We're getting ready to head out for the evening hunt. We've had a little cold front move in. We've got a light breeze going. We're going to be hunting down here on our personal property tonight. Just come and go with us. Wish us luck. this is my own personal property, and yeah, I hunted a lot. It's basically my little honey hole.
Right out your back door.
Yeah, basically out my back door. Takes me about 6-7 minutes to get to my stand there that I'm hunting out of. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, good spot too. Well, I see these deer here are out in this field, and to me they look like I'm going to take the shot. What happened?
Well, they're actually about 75 yards away. They're a lot further than
Zoomed
what,
in.
Yeah, I
Oh,
zoomed in on them. Yeah.
But it looks like a good spot. I mean, me and you've been back there before, and there was a heck of a trail running right through that field.
Yeah, I've got a right on the other side of the fence there where I actually hunt at, facing this way, not facing the field. I've got a mineral lick out there and a game camera and everything. So yeah, I got a pretty good little path going down through there.
You know, all of us have special spots that we like to hunt. We call them our honey holes. And this one is yours. And you've had success there in the past.
Yeah, I've killed several deer right here, and then my parents, they own some property right up the road. Those two spots are where I hit a lot, and I've had great success there.
Well, here comes, through your shooting lane, a little buck.
Yeah.
And it looks like a doe's trailing it.
Yeah, I tried to get her to stop.
I heard that grunt.
Yeah, and as you can see, it wasn't very loud.
No.
I should have made it a little bit louder. Maybe she'd stopped right there in that shooting lane, but she didn't. So that was a missed opportunity right there.
That happens. Well, it looked like this deer come in pretty quick on you.
It did. I just got set down in the stand, and it came out of a little thicket over there to my right, and it came right into my shooting lane, and it all just happened quick. I barely got the camera turned on and let the arrow fly.
But it looks like you had to take the shot on this. I mean,
Yeah.
it was there. You had to do it.
Yep.
So.
Well, folks, we just made a shot on a pretty decent doe. Made a pretty good shot on her, I think. I'm gonna get down now and go over here and check out the arrow and see if we can't get a blood trail going.
Well, it looked like a real good shot on this doe.
Yeah, it's one of the best shots I think I've ever made in my life on a deer. And I got down and I'd actually called my wife, and she brought the camera out there, but we didn't have any lights with us. So I had to call in some Rainbow reinforcements. I called in Mike and Matt Elledge and a buddy of mine, Eddie Mormon.
I know those guys.
Yep. And they come down, and Matt had a little pup that he started turning into a blood trailing dog. And believe it or not, right there where I shot that deer, there was no blood. And that little pup, and I mean, it wasn't this big at that time, it found first blood for us.
Huh.
So we blood trailed it, and it went out on no logging road, and then the blood just quit. And didn't find it that night. But I knew, and I went back and watched the footage. It was one of those, it just aggravates you to death.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps you up at night.
Yeah, because I knew that deer was out there because I knew it was a good shot. I watched the footage. I knew that deer was dead. So the next morning I went back out there and hunted in the same spot. And of course I couldn't sit there for about 20 minutes because I had to go find this deer.
Yeah, and that's what we do. I mean, we don't want to leave nothing out there without giving 100% effort to recover it. So I know where you're going when you say you were sitting up there hunting, but it was gnawing on you. You had to go out and try to find it.
So I got down and I'd marked where we had last blood the night before, and it ended up, it had jumped the fence and went over on the neighbor, and it wasn't out there 25 yards from where we found last blood.
Oh,
but
God.
instead of going on down the logging road, it jumped the fence to the left.
Recovery, though.
Yep, found her.
Well, folks, it's October 26th. Last night I was hunting here on our own property here in southern Missouri, and I shot this doe. and I knew I made a pretty good shot on her. She was kind of quartering to me, but I got down, I couldn't find any blood, so I had to call in the Raymondville reinforcements. Some of my buddies came over, and we looked for her for a couple hours last night. The blood trail just quit, so I got up this morning and went back hunting, and after I got down, I went looking for her, and luckily I found her. So we're going to get back after them this evening. We're going to get her cleaned up. Stay tuned, and wish us luck.
Well, Brad, what's up next week?
Well, folks, next week is Lucky 13. Our 13th episode. We're halfway through the first season of Full Draw Madness, and we're going to start in the past with some of our earlier hunts, what got us to where we're at, maybe even, who knows, an outtake or two. You never know. You never know. But it ought to be a great episode, and you'll get to see where Full Draw Madness got its start. So tune in next week and join the madness.
Wish us luck.
Hey, that ain't part of the end.
That was an old basketball injury.